listeners, you watch DAILYNESIA News on Sunday, 24 October 2021 at 7 a.m. with me, Anita Gabriella. Hot news this time will bring news of R.KELLY, convicted of sex trafficking. Singer R.KELLY was found guilty of trafficking charges of trafficking in women over 2 decades of sexual abuse of women and children. He is sentenced to decades of prison in a sexual assault case. Reporting from Fox News on Wednesday, prosecutors summoned several witnesses in the trial of the R.KELLY case, namely several women and 2 men who were in his immediate apartment. The shocking thing came from the statement of the witness that they prepared for unwanted intercourse and psychologically threatened them. Several witnesses began to be called who would later determine the fate of R.KELLY. With jury selection in Brooklyn, New York City court, Monday, 98 local time after several delays. Before the trial decision, R.KELLY had instead of pleading not guilty. Well, we will connect with my colleague, Agatha, on Brooklyn, New York City court.
Reporting live from Brooklyn, New York City court, the trial of trafficking of women by singer R.KELLY was found guilty of 2 decades of sexual abuse of women and children. Singer R.KELLY was sentenced to decades in prison for sexual harassment. In response to the punishment of the singer, known as the song "I Believe I Can Fly," his fans gathered outside of the court building. Kelly was arrested reportedly facing charges of 30 counts in Chicago on Thursday evening local time on federal sex trafficking charges. The new accusations are different from the previous one, but the facts are the same. CNN and New Yorker reported on February 14 that prosecutors were moving to indict him. He was even able to continue his profession after being entangled in a case of non-consensual private video recording of a 14-year-old girl in 2002. As we can see, 11 victims of R.KELLY testified in a New York courtroom to provide detailed evidence of abuse and ill treatment by the famous singer. The identities of some of the 11 women and men cannot be made public. Many of them revealed they had sex with R.KELLY when they were minors. They said Kelly was controlling, grumpy, and rude. Several other women said they were forced to read letters on their own detriment, including false confessions. Today, 5 weeks after testimony came from several people, R.KELLY was found guilty. Since being indicted in February 2019, R.KELLY maintained his innocence on all counts and called those who accused him of a group of liars regarding their relationship. Kelly's lawyer, Thomas Farinella, responded to the verdict against his client as aberrant. He highlighted the Richter Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, which was intended to eradicate organized crime in the U.S. After being found guilty, the reading of punishment for R.KELLY will take place on May 14, 2022. He faced the threat of decades in prison for this case. Meanwhile, outside New York, R.KELLY is also facing multiple charges in Illinois and Minnesota, including severe sexual abuse, child pornography, seduction of minors, obstruction of justice, and prostitution. Back to Anita.
Alright, thank you to Agatha, who has reported the trial of a sexual assault case with the defendant R.KELLY in Brooklyn, New York City court.
Friday, 15 October 2021 is the day that Papua's national sport competition will be finished. Papua's national sport competition was begun on the 2nd October 2021. And since the competition was officially opened by the presidents, a lot of people who love sports are being enthusiastic to watch the competitions, whether on TV, social media, or watching live in the venue. And today is the last day of the competitions. Based on the data, West Java was being the most province that won the gold medals. They won 133 gold medals, 105 silver medals, and 115 bronze medals. And then followed by Jakarta. They obtained 110 gold medals, 91 silver medals, and 100 bronze medals. Then, the third province that won the most gold medals is East Java. They obtained 110 gold medals, 89 silver medals, and 88 bronze medals. During the closing ceremony of the event, many people being enthusiasm to participate in the closing ceremony to watch some performance from many artists. And because of the enthusiasm from the citizens, they are willing to queue in the line to participate in the closing ceremony. And for detailed information, let's call Miss Desi, who is in the location right now in Lukas NMB Stadium, Papua. Hello, Miss Desi. Can you report the situation to us? Can you hear me, Miss Desi?
Yes, Feri, I can hear you clearly. So, as we all know that Papua's National Sport Competition 2021 is finished, and it results many winners, not only from Papua but also the other cities from Indonesia. And Papua's National Sport Competition 2021 will be officially closed today by the closing ceremony that will be held today. And now, as you can see, I am in front of the Lukas NMB Stadium in Papua, and I will report the situation here. And as you can see here, Feri and everyone, there are many people are waiting in the line to enter the stadium and for participating the closing ceremony. And they have been waiting for so long, since this morning, more or less since a few hours ago, and now it's almost 4 p.m. Papua's time. And even though they're very tired, they're still excited, and the enthusiasm of them is still on fire.
Yes, it looks so fun there. At what time that the gate will be open so the people are allowed to enter and watch the closing ceremony, Miss Desi?
Yeah, the event will be started at 7 p.m. Papua's time or 5 p.m. in Jakarta's time. So it is about 3 hours left until we all go inside the stadium, including me and my cameraman partner. So we are here very excited to see the performance later inside the stadium. Now here we already have one of the audience here. Boleh perkenalan Mbak, namanya siapa?
Perkenalkan, nama saya Tia.
Mbak Tia asal dari mana?
Saya dari Palembang, Mbak.
Oh, jauh sekali ya Mbak gitu.
Iya, lumayan sih ya.
Boleh tahu alasan kenapa Mbak sampai jauh-jauh dari Palembang ke Papua untuk nonton ini tuh kenapa Mbak?
Kalau jujur sih karena saya mau nonton Noahnya sih, Mbak.
Fans berat Noah nih ya.
Bisa dibilang kayak gitu. Dan acara ini kan juga setahu saya jarang setiap tahun ada ya Mbak,
ya,
beberapa tahun sekali gitu kan. Juga kesempatan langka juga buat saya bisa datang ke sini. Terus syukurnya juga pas saya ada rezeki, jadi kenapa enggak saya datang ke sini.
Oh begitu. Oke Mbak, terima kasih untuk waktunya. That is all about the report today, and I will give it back to Feri in the studio.
Alright, very exciting. So you mentioned about the performance, right? Who will be in the performance tonight in the closing ceremony, Miss Desi? As I heard that there were many artists in the closing ceremony. Is that true? And how is the event going to start? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, very 100%. And the event first will be opened by the Vice President, Mr. Ma'ruf Amin, and also the Minister of Youth and Sport, Mr. Zainuddin Amali, and also the Chairman of Indonesia's National Sport Committee, Mr. Marciano Norman. And there will be also the Governor of Papua, Mr. Lukas NMB, and the Governor of Aceh, Mr. Nova Iransyah. And the performance, Feri and everyone, they will be performed the traditional dance from the next host of Papua's National Sport Competition in 2024, and also there will be performed Tari Kebersamaan, and last but not least, there will be also the famous band in Indonesia, Noah. You can tell how exciting this event will be. Back to Feri.
Yes, I agree, Miss Desi. Offline school has been already held in some cities in Indonesia, including Yogyakarta and Central Java. It's been a very long time since the online schools and classes are held due to the pandemic of COVID-19. Now, since the situations are getting much better than the previous years, and there were more than 70% citizens are being vaccinated, the government decided to allow offline school in some cities in Indonesia. Yogyakarta is one of them, and we have Miss Desi Kusumaningrum as our reporter who is in the one of schools there in Yogyakarta. And beside that, we also have our other reporters in Central Java, that is Miss Agatha. But we will connect to Miss Desi first. Miss Desi, can you report the situation there?
Alright, Feri, I am reporting here from Luhur Junior High School in Yogyakarta. And as we can see here, Feri and everyone, this morning the school is already open since the first time for the students since the pandemic of COVID-19. I am here in front of the gate of Luhur Junior High School in Yogyakarta. So, Feri and everyone, some schools in Yogyakarta are already open so that the students are be able to experience the feelings of schools in their life again. But there are some rules that the students must obey. First is that they have to be vaccinated first in 2 doses, and also they divided into 2 divisions based on their student number. So that is all I can report about the situation here in Luhur Junior High School, and I give it back to Feri in the studio.
Alright, Desi. Now, let's call Miss Agatha to report the situation there in Central Java. Hello, Miss Jan. Can you report the situation there?
Alright, Feri, thank you. The Central Java Provincial Government allows school to conduct limited face-to-face learning on August 30, 2021, following a number of regions that have currently entered the enforcement of restriction on community activities level 1, 2, and 3. However, there are conditions that must be complied with in the implementation of limited face-to-face learning. This is based on the implementation of Level 4, Level 3, and Level 2 coronavirus disease restriction in Central Java Province related to education. For schools that are at Level 4, it is still not allowed to hold face-to-face learning. Based on this regulation, I am currently in one of the elementary schools in Semarang Regency, SD Negeri Candi 2. Here we can see that face-to-face learning has been going on for approximately 1 month. This school applies a different policy from the regulation, where all the students are allowed to do face-to-face learning together. This is because the spread of COVID-19 in this area is counted very little or even almost no cases. This area is included in the COVID-19 safe zone. Even so, teachers, employees, and students are still required to always wear masks, always wash their hands, and keep their distance. The implementation of face-to-face learning is limited to level 1, 2, or 3 areas and will continue to be evaluated. If the following week the regional level rises to level 4, the school must close again or cannot continue face-to-face learning. Back to Feri.
Alright, thank you Desi and Jan.